Welcome to Bunnyfish Carets. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of March, 2016. This is episode 172, Lenjeri. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. How was your week? Do you do Easter? Did you celebrate Easter? Ours was okay. It was very chill. The Easter Bunny brought the baskets very late because the mother woke up very late, so whatever. But the stuff from the Easter Bunny, I think the Easter Bunny shopped at the dollar store because that's where I would shop. And the kids loved it. Gabriel got a little grow your own crystal tree kit and puzzles and an adult type coloring book that he's in love with. And Mara got paper and crayons and those sorts of things. All the things that she likes. And a jump rope, because she specifically asked for a jump rope like a month ago. And I don't think she's unpackaged the jump rope yet. Anyway, it was good. I'm late to recording this week because Easter is a very big grocery holiday. Because it's not just the brunches and the lunches and the dinners. It's also all the candy and all of those things. So Friday and Saturday were insane. Thursday was busy for a Thursday, but Friday and Saturday were insane. Easter Sunday was not that busy, which was a nice little break, but yesterday I was just too tired. So didn't record. Anyway, let's talk about knitting related things. The Tube Sock Knit Along ends in 2 days, so hopefully still at least a day by the time you see this. Finish up entries, get them in. The prize is from Poppy Flower Fibers in Boulder, Colorado. It is the Pooh Bear Redux colorway. It's 100% superwash merino, and it is lovely. And that will be the prize. I will be drawing for that next week on the podcast. Speaking of things that happen next week on the podcast, right here you can see the project bags for the possible project I'll be knitting next for my socks for myself. That was very poorly structured, that whole sentence. Oh well. The poll is still up in last week's episode thread for which one I should do. If I remember correctly, the front runner was the Kitchen Counter Crafter Foxy bag. So that looks like what I might be knitting next, unless a whole bunch of people go and vote separately or differently for the zombie bag or the green flower bag. I have not been up very long, okay? I'm a little tired still. I'm working on it. So this might be rough, that's what I'm saying. So yes, go vote, and that will also be revealed next week on the podcast. Finished objects, I have one, and it's not here. It has already made it to its destination, which is exciting. It is the Lenjeri by Sarah Burkhart Abrams. I'm knitted out of Leading Man Fiber Arts Ghostlight in Fishbowl. That is their silk merino blend, and I knit that on US 3.25 millimeter needles. The shawl turned out lovely. I didn't record before I got it in the post because last week Steve gave me his card to purchase some groceries because he was like, oh, well, it's my turn. You can just take it. And then he didn't get his card back from me, which wouldn't be a problem except he didn't have enough gas to get home. So I had to drive out to his work and give him his card. Well, since I had to leave the house anyway, that obviously meant that I should do every single errand that I needed to do that required getting out of the house, because why would you go out twice if you didn't have to? So I hurried up and wove in the ends on the shawl and packaged that up, and I had another package that I had to package up, and plus library books, and obviously getting gas, and I think there was another place that we had to stop for some reason or other. and probably pick up groceries because I buy groceries every day. It just works better that way for me if I just pick up what I need every day, because then I'm not throwing away food at the end of the week because I bought something that went bad. So yeah, no video on that, but pictures. The shawl turned out beautifully. It blocked two, no, those are the unblocked measurements. Unblocked, it was 40 inches by 20.5 inches. I want to say blocked, it was 60 inches by 27 inches, like 27 inches down the center spine. I don't remember 100%, but it is written on the project page, and if I remember during editing, I'll put that in at the bottom somewhere. So it's lovely. It turned out beautifully. The lace is lovely. I love, love, love the leaf lace up the edge. The picot bind off took a little while, but it wasn't too bad. I finished it that night. Last week I was telling you about it. I finished it while watching a movie or something. I don't remember, or several movies. And then blocked it the next day, let it sit for 2 days so that it was definitely dry and blocked. And then I had to send it out into the mail. Hi. My cats are all upset. So today is going to be another busy day. I have to go to the library and get gas and go to the grocery store because my cats are out of cat food. And none of them thought to tell me yesterday that they were running low. They just decided this morning that they would be all up in my face because they were out. We have a big canister that their food is dispensed out of. Not that that matters to you, but that probably means that Ducky's going to be all in the recording today. So I finished that, and then I worked on lots of other things. This is Raptor by Jenny Stamen. And this is I think she calls it stage 1 out of 3 or 4. So this is stage 1. And I'm getting ready to do the next part. And this is a little over a third of the way done for the sock. So good progress. I won't be finishing it by the end of the month, I don't think, unless I really decide that that's what I want to work on in the next 2 days. But I work the next 2 days, so probably not. The yarn is White Birch Fiber Arts in the I Eats Me Spinach colorway, and it is gorgeous. It's a self-striping yarn, but not like solid stripes. It's gradiated stripes, so it's all these purples on one stripe and all the greens on the other, and it's not purple, it's like gray, purple, bluish. And I just love it so much, and I'm so excited for these socks. I kind of want to work on them all the time, and maybe I will. Talk about that in a few minutes. I also worked on, those are on US size 1 according to Addie, but they're 2.5 millimeters. And that needle is actually working really well for the gauge for this sock. I don't know if I told you that because the gauge was different, I went down a size of the sock that I would normally knit based on my normal sock knitting gauge, but the first sock fit perfectly, so it works well. Anyway, I also worked on Josie by Jenna Meyer, and last week the socks were not together on a circular, so they were at 2 different points. This is where this one was further. Now they're together. I started the next pattern repeat, and I am getting close-ish to putting in the heel. I'll go to my fingertip, maybe a little bit past that to make the heel, and then start on the leg. I love this yarn so much. It's Science Monkey Mercantile in the, I'll show you the back. It's pretty on the front, but I think you get a better idea of the yarn on the back for right now. It will look lovely on feet though. It's just because it's all bunched up on the needles because of the lace. See, there you go. You can see that better. What was I saying about this yarn? I don't remember. Science Monkey Mercantile Faraday sock in the Rosalind Franklin's Overexposed Photograph colorway. It is so pretty. I want a hat out of it. I would wear this hat. But, you know, I only have this one skein, and I'm making socks out of it, so I can't make socks and a hat out of it, probably. And those socks are worked on a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter needle. I also have another pair of socks on US 1s. These are the child tube socks, which were here last week, so I did this much, which is not terrible progress, about 5 rounds a day. I've started the third ribbing section. So, oh, not that side, this side. So you can see I added another rib, and that will go for a total of 40 rounds, and then I will add in the next ribbing section, and then I think there will be maybe one ribbing section after that. I don't remember. But these are Mara's Christmas socks. The yarn I'm using is Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper in the Royalty colorway. And it's just child tube sock recipe sort of thing. The particular ribbing pattern is written on at least one of the project pages for one of the kids' socks. I don't remember which one. And they're going. Every time Mara sees them, she says, "Mom, I love my Christmas socks." And I'm like, "Yep, and you have to wait until Christmas." I know, but I love them so much, which is adorable and perfect. I also worked on the cross stitch, which is making my heart sing so much. It just looks so cute. There he is. Started outlining the cloud. I only have a little bit of outlining to go, and then it'll be just filling in the huge swaths of white. The face is almost filled in. I made a mistake though, and I'm not sure if I want to do anything about it or just leave it if I don't think it's that big of a deal. So here's the mistake I made. See his muzzle? Well, his muzzle's all filled in. I'd have to do the nose still. But his muzzle's all filled in, and his muzzle doesn't have a mouth on it. It's 2 stitches of color. And I don't know if I should just rip out those stitches, because I wouldn't be ripping out just those 2 stitches. It's like right here. So I would be ripping out all the stitches below that to make the mouth. I don't know if I want to do that. That seems like a lot of work. Maybe I should just backstitch like a little partial smile there. Maybe with the same blue that I'll be outlining the muzzle in. I don't know. What do you think? Should I rip out those stitches? Because I don't really think that it needs those 2 stitches of brown to give it a face. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See? It's got those 2 stitches. Do you think I need it? Because I don't necessarily think I need it, but I'm nervous that I do. I don't know. But yeah, here's progress. Let me know what you think. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do it today. If I do it, it'll be later in the week, so you'll have plenty of time to comment and let me know what you think. Yeah, he's just so cute. I also have another question, because, okay, you know I had to substitute in this cloud color stuff because my kids stole the floss. Well, the balloon is in the same colors as the cloud. I don't really want to do a gray and brown balloon. So do you think I should try to find other blues to make the balloon out of, or see if I have enough left over of the body color of the bear for the blue balloon? Or should I just change the balloon color completely, because I have plenty of this red. this red from the heart because that's 6 stitches. I have plenty of that left over, so maybe I could do this outline portion on the bottom in red, and then I have this little thing of pink that got wrapped up in the threads in my son's room, but wasn't part of the package, and I just left it there. Should I make the balloon pink and red, maybe? What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. I also worked on a lot the Pikachu hat. So last week I was starting on the brim, and I'd made it past the turn row, but hadn't made it all the way back up to where I would be connecting them. Well, now I have a hat. And I have almost an entire ear, which will sit much more nicely once the needles aren't pulling it down awkwardly. What is it doing? There you go. It sits better like that. Okay, so there's the first ear. I am almost finished. I don't know, less than 10 rounds, I would say, because I'm decreasing for the tip, and I don't think I'm going to decrease all the way down. I think I'm probably going to decrease to a few stitches on each needle and then Kitchener it closed. I haven't decided yet. I'm totally improvising this pattern. I cast on 144 stitches, and then on size 1, and then did 10 rounds, and then a purl round, and then 10 more rounds, and then knit the stitches together to close the provisional cast on. Switch to size 3 needles, knit however many inches this is, and then put the first 14 and the last 14 stitches onto needles, and then Kitchenered until I had 28 stitches left in the middle of the needles, and that'll be this ear right here, will be those 28 stitches. And then I did all of these rounds of yellow. I did a short row section because Pikachu's ears, the black doesn't cut across straight, it cuts across on a diagonal. So then a short row section to make a diagonal, and then black knit on the bias, and now I'm decreasing. So that's the basic Pikachu hat pattern. I don't know if I'm going to see the guy who I'm knitting this for at work tonight. I'm kind of hoping so I can be like, does this look okay? Because I'd really prefer not to knit a second ear if you hate this one. I mean, I'm going to start the second ear, but maybe not go all the way to the black, just in case he wants it shorter. And I definitely don't want to start the black in case he wants it longer. So hopefully I see him at work tonight. But yeah, that's the hat. I knit it using Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the Dandelion colorway. I way overbought for this. I am just barely going to have to break into the second skein to do this second ear. I have right now this much left over, so not enough to do the second ear, but you know, still kind of a lot of a single skein. And that means I'm going to have one entire skein of Dandelion left over and a pretty decent partial skein of Dandelion. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that because, you know, I don't knit a lot of things with yellow, but I'll figure it out. That'll be fine. And then the black is Premier Serenity Sock in black. And hopefully he likes it. I did a fair bit of modular knitting this week also. This is Burn Raising Square number 65. It is Solar Flare Fibers, who's no longer dying, in the Confetti Silver Cake colorway, which I love so much. Obviously, look at it. It's appropriate pinks and speckles and blues and yellows, and it just looks good enough to eat. I also made square number 22 on my mitered square blanket using Confetti Silver Cake. Such a beautiful colorway. I love it so much. So much. I used it to knit a pair of socks that you guys never saw because it's a design concept. And I took pictures So maybe I'll put that up someday on the podcast. When I finish the design, I'm sure I'll show you those pictures. But now they're in my drawer so I can wear them because they've been sitting for like a year and a half. Yeah. Anyway, love the yarn, love the colorway. And then I made hexa puffs. I made 12 hexa puffs because I did 6 at a time magic loop, and that brings me up to 497, so almost to 500, which is almost my tentative quarter mark. I did 2 of these and 2 of these, which is Where's the Kaboom that I did Gabriel's socks out of, and 1 celebratory and 1 non in the Pagewood Farms Denali sock Marine Girl colorway that I made my zombie boyfriend socks out of. 2 using a mini skein from one of the ZKs. I think it was from the ZK, pretty sure. 1 using Nooch Fiber Arts. I don't remember the base, and I don't remember the colorway, but I did use it in my, the first ZK, the Mystery Knit Along by Josh Ricks. I can picture it, I just can't remember what it's called. And I also used it in Stitch Surfers. I did a celebratory puff using the leftovers of that particular yarn, and also this is a riot of color in the Waterworks colorway. And then I ran out of yarns up here, so what I ended the Waterworks section in is this yarn. I don't remember what it is or who it's from. And then I ended the Nooch in Purple Spice colorway by Premier Serenity Sock Yarn. And this yarn was from the ZK, so I made 1, I started another, I ran out, I used a little scrap of another yarn, ran out, finished it with this little scrap of yarn. So 12 hexa puffs, which would be more exciting if I had been doing hexa puffs the past month, but I haven't been. At least I did 12 this week, right? I'm hoping to do another 6 this week now that I have my size 3 circular free, so I can just do 6 at a time. And I got a package. I'm super excited about this. So one of the packages that I had to send out earlier this week was a set of mini skeins because Christina and I were trading. And we were trading specifically so I could have a needle minder because I wanted a needle minder for cross stitching because I'm really, really enjoying it. And I wanted one, and she PM'd me and said she had one that she had never used and would I like it? Of course I would love it. So we traded mini skeins for this needle minder, which is absolutely gorgeous. Let me take this off again. Sorry for my very unkempt nails. It's on my list to take off my nail polish today, but I just didn't get to it before the podcast. So that's beautiful, and it is from Nordic Attraction, which I don't know if they're selling anything, but that's where it came from. And NordicNeedles.com. I feel like I've heard that before, so they're probably still around, but I don't know for sure. And it's gorgeous. I love it so much. It's like a little snowflake star combo, which I love. If you know me, you know that stars are my favorite shape and that snowflakes are my thing. Winter is my favorite. And then she is so sweet. She sent, she sent this gorgeous card. I am so bad about sending notes with things. I intend to and then I forget. So I fail at that. I need to work on it. But she also sent this beautiful little bowl. Those are seed beads, and it's inside a something, I don't know, some sort of food object, plant thing, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's gorgeous. And she also sent me a dish scrubby, which is perfect because my dish scrubbies just died and I was going to have to buy new ones, but now I have this. It's perfect. Thank you, Christina. I'm very excited about that. And then all that I have left for you is what I'm reading this week, but I did a pretty fair bit of reading. I finished 2 books. The first one was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the prequel trilogy or series to Mortal Instruments, and I started reading it forever ago and then took it back to the library, and I had a library fine of $1 bajillion because I had some missing items, and then I turned all of those in, and then I still had a pretty decent fine because of late fees, so I wasn't using the library. And then my best friend paid off my late fees because she was like, well, that's ridiculous. That means the kids can't get books out. And it wasn't the worst fee ever, but it was like $25. So she paid it off so that the kids could get books out and, you know, subsequently I could get books out. So I got Clockwork Angel out and finished it because I was a decent chunk of the way through. I think I was 2/3 of the way through. And then after I finished that one, I picked up The Crimson Crown, which I have been reading for a while, steadily. And I think it's the last book in the series, which is kind of sad because I love the characters so much, but is kind of good because I'm not quite sure where it would go from here. A lot of the big bad have been taken care of, and the kingdom's still in turmoil, but it's working forward. So it's really, really good. I will definitely be checking out more things by Cinda Williams-Chima. I enjoyed it so much. I actually am up so late waking up this morning because I stayed up too late finishing this book last night. I was like, oh, there's only 100 more pages. And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired. Oh, but there's only 60 more pages. And then I was kind of tired again. And I was like, but only 40 pages. So then I just kept reading instead of sleeping. Will you go let the dogs in, please?
Oh, I need to put...
Oh, okay. And I also finished listening to Death Masks by Jim Butcher, which I enjoyed, and I will be starting the next audiobook in the series fairly soon.
That's Mars.
James Marsters does a fabulous job narrating. I didn't really enjoy reading the Dresden Files as books, but I enjoy listening to them as audiobooks. And then this morning, when I woke up to get Gabriel on the bus, I knew that I was not going to be awake for long. I could just feel it. My body was like, nope, go back to bed. What are you doing awake right now? So I picked up a book as something to do while I was waiting for my body to make me crash. And I only read the first chapter. This is The Siren by Kira Cass. She wrote the Selection novel, and you know I really, really enjoyed those. This is totally unrelated, although the cover photography is very similar. The story is based on the first chapter. This girl, whose name I don't remember, she's on a cruise with her family, and then there's siren songs, and the whole cruise, maybe it's not a cruise, maybe it's just a ship taking people from someplace to someplace else, I don't know. Then there's siren song, and she makes a deal with the sirens to basically become one of them. And in this book, sirens are indentured to that life for 100 years, and then they're set free. So, well, I kind of started the second chapter. So the second chapter, which is the start of the main part of the story, I think, takes place 80 years later. So there's still 20 years left of her servitude. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes. Because I imagine that there's a love story, and if she's a siren and can't do anything for 20 years, I'm interested to see how that works out. So I'll let you know. Oh, yeah, well, now let's read this right here. A girl with a secret, the boy of her dreams, an ocean between them. There you go. So love story and interesting twist, and I am super excited to read it. It will probably be finished by next week because it's not a very thick book, and Kira Cash just writes in a way that makes me just not want to put it down. Anyway, I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string. I have a very busy afternoon before I go into work, so I will see you next week. Bye.